Hey, what's up, y'all? We are here with another video, another conversation. Today, we are talking about friendships. And I'm going to go through some very personal stuff about why I kind of look at people sideways when it comes to becoming friends, being friends, all of that stuff is juicy. Is juicy. Let's get started. All right, let's jump right into why I look people sideways. And this is an internal thing, okay? I don't project. It's just an internal barometer that I have with people as it comes to friendships. A lot of it has to do with what I've gone through, which is natural, like anyone else. When they go through a series of, disappointments, hurt, trauma, they're very skeptical of how they approach certain areas of their life. I am no different from the rest of you where people are concerned. I love people. So let me just start with that. I love people. I've said this multiple times that I love people, but I don't think all of the people love me back. And that is real. And so I have to come to terms with that and understand who is here for me for real versus those who are here to take something from me or to manipulate me or to hurt me, because those people do exist. So, they say the older you get, the smaller your circle of friends becomes. Mine is like a microscopic dot. That's how many friends I have. Real, true, close, like know me intimately friends. It's a dot. And and this is outside of family, okay? So it's really a dot, like I'm not playing. But back in the day, the reason why it has become a dot is not just simply about maturing and developing and evolving as a woman and as a person, but also a lot of the trauma that I've experienced from childhood up to this point, where it's like it comes in combination with who I am, who God has created me to be, and all of the things that I've experienced. And so at this point, it's not that I don't want to meet new people. I love meeting new people. I have no choice but to meet new people based on the career path that I have. But it's not to say that these people get too close to me. So you got to be like that, especially if you know the type of personality that you have and the awareness of what God has put within you as a gift, which is meant to be shared with the world. But you got to protect that gift, right? And so, like I said, people are going to come up to you and want to get close to you, want to rub up on you. And, whether that's literal or figuratively speaking, you got to set some boundaries. And that's really what I had to learn the hard way. And the reason why I had to learn that the hard way is because I was never taught what boundaries were, period. Unfortunately. So let's start from the beginning, because this stuff happened to me from like 5 years old, believe it or not, right? At 5, long story short, I had this one kid who took my lunchbox, y'all, and smacked me in the face with it, full throttle, smacked me in the face. Now, understand why this is a big deal. This is back in the 80s. If y'all remember those hard plastic lunchboxes that had either a TV show picture on the front of it or a movie picture on the front of it. Mine was Fraggle Rocks. My brother's was a Star Wars lunchbox. It had a thermos in it. It was quasi heavy, that kind of lunchbox. I hope some of y'all remember that, because for the rest of y'all, you're going to be like, what? What's she talking about? But if you grew up in the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. Those like hard plastic, they don't make that kind of plastic anymore, but hard plastic lunchboxes. Took that up and smacked me full throttle in the face. Don't remember what happened. I wasn't the kind of child that was mischievous. If anything, I was a very quiet child. I was very shy. The woman you see today has gone through a lot to become who she is meant to be. And I'm sure I was always meant to be that way, but I was just very shy, very quiet, very like, don't talk to me. I would sit in a chair. I would sit in that spot. I will not move from that spot. You thought I was part of the furniture, part of the decoration. I was really that, like, so just to give you context as to who I was growing up. And this kid just smacked me in the face. So that was one incident. I had another incident, and this was a boy, by the way. I had another incident with another boy who was one of my first best friends in elementary school. One day he punched me super hard in the stomach. I said something to him. I don't know what it was that I said, but I said something to him and he turned around and punched me straight in the stomach. It was the one and only time that anyone, you hear me? Anyone, aside from my parents, we won't go there, okay? Anyone outside of my family who has hit me in my entire life. Can you believe that? One time. And I was winded, of course. Like, naturally, you get punched in the stomach, you're winded. But that was another incident. But what I want to really focus on is what happened to me during adolescence, into my early adulthood, into my 20s, mid-20s. That is where the bulk of my life lessons occurred, because at that point, you know, things are happening, your body's changing, you look different, you start to feel different things, which is part of the development process. But at the time, my parents were the type of parents, and this is nothing wrong, it's not a criticism, they were all about focus on your studies. Don't talk to me about boys. Don't have no boys call here. Don't have no boys show up. Like, my parents were just really pressed on that, and rightfully so, right? You're a teenager, you're going through all these changes, but you don't know how to deal with them. You don't want to find yourself out there pregnant at 16, 17, like how it has happened for a lot of people. No judgment though. And so, because I was so like, focus on your studies, don't look at boys, you know, that's who I became. Just hyper nerd. Focused on my studies, didn't look at boys. If boys looked at me, I told them don't look at me. Like, it was really that kind of an intimidation, if you will. So along the course of friendships with different girls at the time, I always noticed that my girlfriends would compete with me. Did I know that then? No, I'm saying this to you now. They would compete with me in different areas. And at the time, as a teenager, the biggest competition was the attention of boys. And so to me, that didn't matter because, like I just said, I was drilled in focus on your studies. So that's what I did. But, you know, I had this one incident, if you will, or situation, however you want to look at it, where there was this one guy who was interested in me. I really wasn't feeling him. And it's not just because of what my parents drilled in me, but also there was no spark, there was no connection, there was nothing. Okay, like, I've liked guys before during high school. I just never really did anything about it because of my parents. But this one particular guy just took a liking to me. I guess he thought I was cute, whatever, wanted to talk to me. But my friend at the time, who seemed to, as I could use my mother's nice little phrase, hot to trot, if you know what I'm saying, hyperactive, if you know what I'm saying, didn't seem to like that. So I don't know if she was feeling him. I don't even think she was feeling him. I think she just felt like, oh, he ain't looking at me, type of thing. And when it was all said and done, she ended up sleeping with him. Just as a result of him making her aware that he wanted to talk to me, she was like, oh no, I'm gonna cock block that and throw that whole situation away where that's concerned. And the reason why she went that far is because not only did my friends have an awareness of how my parents were, but then also a lot for me too, right? I honor principle. I'm a principled person. I honor principles, right? So when it comes to my friends and guys, I'm not a cock blocker. Definitely not a blocker at all. Now, I could feel some type of way if, like, you and I are feeling the same guy and he chooses you. Like, naturally, I could be like, dang, well, he didn't choose me. But I ain't going out of my way to try and sabotage the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just never was my disposition. But I found a lot of people around me, that's how they acted. And so for me, I was just like, all right, go with that. Because even if I was feeling that person and that person was feeling me, but you come in the middle to intercede and throw any chances of me and that person connecting, because you know of the fact that I don't stand for that. Like, you slept with him. Like, I'm not gonna go now and try and talk to this dude because you slept with my friend. That is my mentality. And it will still forevermore, amen, be my mentality. I'm not gonna mess with a dude that messes with people that are close to me. That's just a general code. I think, like, guys have that guy code, right? So that's like, it should translate to girl code, but I guess not. But anyway, I digress. That situation happened. It was a throwaway. I wasn't irritated by the fact that she slept with him. So let's get that straight. What I was irritated by was the opportunity being taken away from me to say no. Like, you made a decision for me. And as your friend, if you were feeling him, you could have been comfortable to tell me, look, you know, this guy wants to talk to you or whatever, but I really like him. I'm that type of person that's like, okay, you really like him that much? Go ahead and talk to him. Like, I'm not a hater. I've never been a hater. So taking that opportunity away from me to say no so that you could have the green light and go ahead and do what you already did anyway, just shows me how much lack of respect you have for me. Ain't about Negro over there. We don't care about him right now. We care about what's happening here. And you're showing me that based on just some petty, immature jealousy, we ain't real friends. So, you know, that for me, I couldn't take that friendship too seriously. And of course, it came to its end when it needed to, and mad fast. We still cool to this day, don't get me wrong, but we ain't friends. We don't talk like that. But if I see you on the street, I'm gonna say hi. How's it going? How's life? You know, she's moved on. She's married. She's got her own situation going on. So I don't hold no grudges. But that was one situation. Then I had another situation with another girlfriend, and now this is in my 20s, where I was actually feeling this dude. But it's the beginning stages. You know, you're talking, you're getting to know each other. It ain't that deep. So yes, I was not taking it that seriously, but I was saying, let me confirm certain things in my mind about this guy through conversation, through spending time with him, to see if he is a viable person to get involved with. And at the end of the day, this friend takes it upon themselves to go check this dude. Now, the reason I had a problem with that is because this friend was in a full-blown relationship with another guy. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? So for me, I'm just kind of sitting here going like, wait, what? You in a full-blown relationship with this dude. And when he says jump, you say how high. Now, why you need to check my dude? And again, it's not about the fact that I was in the beginning stages with this guy, getting to know him, so it really wasn't that deep. It's always the principle for me. The principle of the matter is that you have a relationship and you cannot be happy for me for 5 seconds. to say, oh, that's good for Corey. She's talking to someone. I hope it works out. No, you go check this dude. So you know what happens now with that dude? Because I'm like, the fact that you allow that to happen, all right, cool, whatever. You can't call me and her. That don't work for me. That might work for these other hoes, but it ain't working for me. So that was a wrap. Her and I had it out because I was just like, buddy, what are you doing? Because like, if the tables were turned, you would be flipping tables over this dude. You get what I'm saying? Like, how are our principles balanced here? If your man did that to you and went go check some other girl, you'd be pissed. So why do you feel in the recesses of your mind that it was okay to go check a guy that I was talking to? Like, and you're in a relationship with this dude? Like, come on now. Stop effing around. So we had our conversation. It was just never the same after that for me. You know, we're still cool to this day. Don't get me wrong. We are still cool. I tell you no lies. I don't hold grudges. People want to make me think that I hold grudges. I don't hold grudges. But like I said, your relationship with me, the dynamic that we had before, ain't going to be the same thing moving forward. Because now you have me side-eyeing you. It lets me know, okay, well, we could be cool in this area, but when it comes to this area, I can't have you involved or actively involved in knowing information about me or having a conversation about some guy that I'm talking to because I see how you move. But like I said, it's water under the bridge right now. We had our conversation and everything like that. And, you know, we came to an understanding. Again, this girl has gone on and lived her life happily. Married to the same dude, children, the whole thing. Do you guys see the pattern here? So it's at this point that I had to start like questioning myself and saying, okay, Corey, where is the default here, or where is the hole in the boat? And I realized that it's boundaries. I never set any boundaries with the people who were in my life at that time. I had another friend too. Again, I don't know why the common thread is always guys, but it's not even about the guys because I'll get to that in a moment. But with her, same thing. And it was a little bit different because we were really, really good friends. We were best friends for like over 20 years, 25 years plus. And our relationship was a little bit different. As you would know, having a best friend, it's always different. As opposed to other friends that you may have in your circle. But with her, we had fun. Where guys were concerned, we had fun with it. We would do like little competitions between ourselves or whatever. It wasn't that deep. But I found at a certain point, though, it got deep for her. Because, again, if you don't have certain principles or ideas about yourself or know yourself enough, you won't always go off the deep end. And for me, where guys were concerned, I never really gone off the deep end with another chick. I may have gone off the deep end on my own and made my own F-ups. But when it came to my friends, I was not messing our relationship up over a dude. Mind you, these other chicks wouldn't mind throwing me under the bus for another dude. It's been done. So there came a certain point where it was like, even if we were competing for the same dude's attention, my idea is if he gravitates towards you, go ahead, have fun with that. It's all good. You won. Bravo. Right? That dude wasn't for me. And then vice versa. So you would think. But there was this one particular dude, and it's so funny because this guy came back around later on in life to me, who, again, had a thing for me. I really wasn't feeling him like that. And I let him know, it's just like, you know, we cool and everything like that, but I don't feel that thing that you feel for me, so it's all good. Well, Once that was done, it was off to the races with her and him. And like I said, I don't care. Like, if he don't like me or if I don't like him, it don't matter, because at the end of the day, if it was meant to be something, it would be something. So they're off to the races. They do their thing for a while, and that's cool and whatnot. But because there was an initial situation between myself and this dude, she would always take every opportunity to like tell me about whenever she slept with him and what they did and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, sis, I don't care. I'm really not trying to swear, but like, I don't care. I don't care. Go do your thing with him. Meanwhile, I'm talking to other dudes. It's like, why are you making this a deal? Like, if we want to get arrogant and cocky about it just for like 2 seconds, he hollered at me first. I said no. And then he went and hollered at you. So where's the bragging rights? Because you rode him? Like, who cares? No one cares. But for a lot of women out there, they feel like because they got it, they're able to ride it, then that's a big darn deal. And I hope that a lot of you women are noticing now more and more that for a dude, that don't change nothing. If anything, you decrease in value. So for me, at the end of the day, he came right back around to me most recently, right? In the last 5 years, talking about, hey, Corey, what's up? No. And I'm just like, bruh, no, you went and did that. Call her up. You know what I'm saying? Because it was never in a relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going through all of this, y'all, because you might be thinking here, I'm just sitting here and I'm kind of gossiping. No, man. You got to understand how people move around you, especially when you have something special about you that they can't touch, that they can't really tap into. If it was like, you know, a pen or something like that, then it would be as easy as saying yoinks, and that's that. It's done. But when you can't tap into something spiritually, people think that if I do things physically around you to make you feel less than, then that's cool. So it means sleeping with the guy that you might be interested in. It means being condescending around a group of people. It means making you feel some type of way and gaslighting you every chance that I can get. These are the types of situations that you can find yourself in, or you have found yourself in. You need to be a little bit more scrutinizing with the people that you let into your life. You need to set some boundaries if you haven't set any boundaries. And then you need to be okay with that. You need to be okay with the high probability that you may not have any friends. You'll know a lot of people, but you may not have 1, 2, 3, 4 close friends by you. You have to be okay with that. And you have to be okay with that because it's part of your purpose. Don't focus so much on the fact that you ain't got all these people around you for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. And every Sunday you all make it a point to have brunch. Like, that might be okay for some people. It's not going to work for you because you're meant to stand out. You're not meant to be a part of the crowd. And if you've chosen to walk this walk, there are going to be things that you have to set in place and be okay with. And just as a side note, if some of these things have happened to you, please take time to heal. Take time to heal. Address these things and heal. Because where you're going, you need to have a certain amount of mental toughness. You're going to need a certain amount of discernment as far as dealing with people. And you're going to have to learn how to love your own company. Now, I love my own company. You are going to have to learn how to love being by yourself. Okay? And that starts with self-love. You gotta learn how to love you. because you can't run away from you. And if you try to be anything outside of you, it won't work. So these are the things that have to be set in place. And I'm telling you because I'm living this. I'm telling you because I'm living this. I love myself to such a degree that I enjoy my own company. I don't even want to hang out with nobody. I can't live life like that now if I want to be in, say, a relationship or anything like that. So I've got to be able to at least love being around the other person too. But loving being around another person has to start with me loving myself. So I love my own company. I love spending time by myself. I love doing things by myself. But you got to work yourself up to that point. So I don't know what stage you're in right now as far as dealing with friendships and just relationships in general, but I know that it starts with healing. It starts with processing what has happened to you, what is happening to you, what is the best thing to do as far as moving forward. Does it mean I have to seek counseling? Does it mean that I have to talk to people who have hurt me, just to get that part out, just so you can forgive them and start to heal towards, the better side of yourself? Does it mean connecting with God, which is something I encourage everyone to do? Develop a relationship with God. Talk to him about all the things that are bothering you, all the things that are, hurting you, and allow him to restore that peace that goes beyond understanding. Allow him to fill you with joy that doesn't require a little something for you to be excited. You just are excited. Those are the steps that you need to take. And I'm telling you, your story may not be my story, and you may not go through a process where you have to be by yourself. You may have one or two or three people, but you must heal first. That is so important. You must heal first, and then you must learn who you are. And learning who you are does require some alone time. So I'm not saying push everybody away and forget everybody. Everybody sucks. I don't want you to have that mentality. What I want you to have is an awareness that not everyone around you is coming for your benefit or for mutual benefit. They're coming for their own. But you got to be able to see that, and then be able to decipher those who really are your destiny helpers. So if you got one or two people that are sticking around and they've always had your back and they're always there for you, you can call them up, you trust them wholeheartedly. Congratulations. Please keep and maintain those relationships. But the rest, don't care about them. They're only there for a season. And, I just happen to be one of those people who, I don't know if I cannot have a lot of people around me. I just don't. But I don't want this to come across as, trust issues and, Corey needs help. No, it's not trust issues. It's about boundaries. And so I've had to put these things in place. And if you've gone through a similar experience like I have, then you need to set some boundaries. Okay, so I just want to wrap this up because it's really long, but I really needed to get that message out. And you guys get a glimpse into my life and why I speak so passionately the way I do. It has a lot to do with what I've gone through. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm talking about friends. The next one, I just may start dipping into parents and family and how that can develop you into a type of person. And again, the bottom line is always about healing. Just heal through the trauma. Process what has happened to you. Talk about it. Journal it. Seek counseling. Seek therapy. But process everything so that you can now just let that pass through and allow yourself to evolve. All right, you guys have a great one. This is really fun. I love sharing stuff. I just gotta be careful with how I share it, but I love sharing things with you guys because if it helps you learn and helps you grow, then I'm all for it. All right, you guys take care. Peace.